Hi guys, MTech Guy here, and today we've got another issue cropped up with the M5. Check it out. So if I fire her up, yes, I haven't got my seatbelt on, and you can see we've got the parking distance fault coming up on the dash there, and if I hit the button down here, that's just flashing at us to let us know that it's not happy. So I suppose we better plug the scan tool in and see what's going on. Alright, we have trouble. We've got a trouble code. We've got 9E33, which is PDC wire ultrasonic sensor rear left. So that's the rear left parking sensor. Haven't we already done that one just not that long ago? No, that was the right rear, wasn't it, when I did that DIY video on pulling the rear bumper off. Alright, so I suppose we better get another parking distance sensor ordered for the rear. And I'll make another DIY video on changing it out. Right, now if you do have a parking distance fault come up on your dashboard there, and it is one of the sensors that's failed, and you don't have a scan tool that's able to read these BMW codes, not to worry, there is another little trick that I can show you to diagnose which sensor is faulty. So to start off with, we're going to turn the ignition to position 1, switch the parking sensors on, and you'll see the green light flashing there. Then we're going to go around each sensor at the front and the rear. Obviously it's the rear one that's failed in this case, so that's where we'll look today. If you place your ear next to each sensor, if they are working, you'll hear them clicking. If you don't hear any noise, then that means the sensor's failed. And these sensors do deteriorate over time. They are fully sealed, but what can happen is the seal can start deteriorating, and then if you give your car a good wash with a power washer, or you've been out in heavy rain, what it can do is let that moisture into the sensor where the sealing compound's failed, and you're going to start seeing these trouble codes. So anyway, let's go and take a look around the rear of the car and we'll have a listen. So as you could see, or hear, or not hear in this case, is that left sensor at the rear, the one on the far left. We're not getting any sound out of there, so what I'll do now is I'll get a replacement ordered and then we'll get the thing changed out. So I've got the new parking sensor here. Now you can get these painted or unpainted, so I won't bother with any part numbers in the description this time round because they do vary to some degree with all the different paint specs and whatnot. Now I purchased this one off eBay and I had ordered a painted one to match the vehicle, but unfortunately it turned up unpainted, so I had to organise the painting myself, but that's all sorted out and we've got the part ready to fit. Right, so we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. There's only one problem with this. I don't know which is the easy way. So we can either remove the whole rear bumper and then gain access to the rear of the parking sensor there and get it changed out and refit the bumper. And I've only just recently had this bumper off to change the batteries out in the siren module over the other side there. Now the other way is we can reach up from underneath the bumper around the back there. Now it is pretty tight, but you can just about gain access to the parking sensor there from the back, but you'll have to unclip it from the bumper and disconnect the electrical connector at the rear there. Now it is doable, but there isn't much room around the back there, and to be honest with you, even when them electrical connectors are staring you in the face, they can be a bit tricky to disconnect, so trying to do it all one-handed and blind with no room from the rear there could turn out to be a bit of a pain. But like I say, it is doable, but to be honest with you, I don't really want to risk messing around with my new painted parking sensor up from the rear there and risk scratching all the face of it and messing it up. So I think we'll do the job properly today. We'll remove the rear bumper and we'll get that changed out. Alright, so it looks like the bumper's coming off again, second time in a couple of weeks. Now I do have a previous video that I made and put out quite some time ago specific to all the individual steps on the rear bumper removal, quite a detailed video, so rather than go into too much detail on the rear bumper removal today, what I'll do is I'll link that video at the top of the screen here now if you want all the specific details, and what I'll do is I'll just sort of skim over the rear bumper removal, but we'll just get stuck into that parking sensor replacement. So if you do need a bit more detail on the rear bumper removal, check out that link. So first up, before we do anything, I'm going to lay down a blanket on the floor here just in front of the bumper there, so when we do remove the rear bumper, we've got something nice and soft to put it on. We're not going to scratch up all the paint. So we need to remove each of these rear inner boot trim panels in the corners there behind the rear lights. So there's just 2 plastic pins holding each of these in, so remove the plastic pins on either side, just turn them 90 degrees and straight out. And then we can remove the panels themselves to gain access to the 2 screws that are holding the bumper in the rear corner from the inside. So where the rear bumper meets the wheel arch here, we have 4 screws. They take an 8mm socket, so there's them to remove, and also a plastic clip on the bottom there to pop out too. And of course, if the plastic clip's been there for quite some time, it's likely to break, so it's worth getting a couple of new ones. And the same on the other side. And then the last fasteners we have to remove are under the rear diffuser here, just holding a section of plastic there. Just 4 screws. They take an 8mm socket. Now both sides of the rear bumper are just sort of clipped on. There's 3 or 4 clips behind here, so just need to grab hold of the edge of the bumper here where it meets the wheel arch. Just pop it out. And the same on the other side. And now we're ready to remove the bumper from the car. So it's just a case of sliding it backwards and then position it on your blanket here. Obviously being careful not to scratch up your paint. Now just be aware when you do pull it away from the car, there is a connector just behind the right hand side here, and that's for your parking sensor harness. So just make sure that's disconnected before you go pulling it too far away, so you don't cause any damage to the wiring. Okay, so now we've got access to what we came for here. That's the parking sensor that we're going to be replacing today. So now it's just a case of removing the electrical connector and then opening these 2 tabs and sliding the sensor out. So that's the new parking sensor in position now, nice and secure. Reconnected the electrical connector, so now we can refit the rear bumper. So that's the rear bumper all back in position and reattached. So next up, we'll jump in the car, we'll clear the fault codes, and then we'll test out our new parking sensor, rescan for fault codes, and see if it's all clear. Okay, so we'll scan the PDC module here, see what's going on. So obviously we've got that code for the left rear parking sensor, so we'll delete that now. I'll just operate the parking sensors again. Right, so if I put my hand in front of the sensor here, and then if we take a look through the rear window at the display on the dashboard there, we can see that it's picking up that something's in the way. Reread the codes, all good. Alright guys, so there we have it, another day, another fault code on the E60 M5, but we've got that one sorted, got the new parking sensor now in position, and everything's functioning as it should do. If you found the video interesting or useful, don't forget to give it a like, and make sure you go and check out the rest of my YouTube channel for more BMW E60 M5 DIY videos. Consider subscribing if that's your cup of tea. I'm MTech Guy, thanks a lot for watching.